Welcome to the gaming side of YouTube. I'm your host, JD Sweets of JD Feed. Today I'm going to be talking about Assassin's Creed. Yes, sir. I'm going to be talking about why Assassin's Creed Unity was the best Assassin's Creed game and why the developers should look at this for inspiration for upcoming titles and the rest of the series, such as Assassin's Creed Rift, the upcoming game. Let's get into this crap, boys. Before we start, I need to tell you that this is made entirely of my opinion and straight facts. And spoilers. And my opinion is in fact right. So if you don't like my opinion, you don't like the truth. Assassin's Creed has had a long and vast expansion ranging from stealth to RPGs, but Assassin's Creed Unity was where it was best. Whether it was the parkour and scaling or the well-connected story that had been in the works since at least Assassin's Creed Rogue, or the clunky yet satisfying combat and elite stealth, it's clear while Assassin's Creed 2 had the best story, Assassin's Creed Unity had the second best, but far better mechanics. Let's get into the story. The story takes you to France in 1789 during the French Revolution and has a young Arnaud Dorian see his father die, killed by a mysterious Templar, later revealed to be our favorite Shay Cormac in Assassin's Creed Rogue, and you're adopted into the home of another Templar, Francois de la Serre. My French is kind of bad, but where you start your romantic relationship with his daughter Elise. It sounds messed up, right? But this is the story. And no, it's not super bad sex. It's just like two teenagers or young adults like hanging out and being romantic. Okay, moving on. Killing all informants and looking for the mastermind behind it. Once you think you've gotten him, Francois Thomas Jaman, which is, spoiler, the person you're trying to kill, he escapes and you've walked into a trap, much like what happened to Ezio when he tried to kill the killer of his family, Rodrigo Borgia. But as with both games, Arnaud and Elise finally hunt him down after several attempts and kill him not before Elise is slaughtered with his mystical sword, and Arnaud exacts revenge after getting out of the rocks or boulders he's trapped in. You'll see when you play. The parkour and the scaling, boys. The parkour in Unity is one of the best it's been at. Well, Assassin's Creed Syndicate had you use a grappling hook and climb off freaking walls. Unity's approach is much more fast and satisfying. There's a button for climbing and one for scaling down. Both are rather easy to use and don't get confused too often. It's a shame that Ubisoft really got rid of this for a much more simplified approach when it came to like more of the RPGs when, you know, it was because we were complaining about it and we were saying we want something new, not just mechanics. So we kind of had that coming, but at the same time, they could have made an RPG and made it about assassins. Moving on, the stealth. The stealth in Unity was the best at it had ever been at, with you being able to plan out your approach and multiple opportunities to help you get in a better and go undetected. Even though it was still good in Syndicate, it was nowhere near as good as it was in Unity. Unity was also the first game to have a sneak button. Clearing out a fort or a castle was rather difficult, yet satisfying. From throwing smoke bombs to taking out a group of guards, to sneakily hiding behind corners and waiting for the right time to strike, or jumping from window to window for the right place to clear out and kill your target. It was rather hard, but not impossible, and extremely satisfying. The only other time it felt as good as Unity was the mission in Assassin's Creed 2. You have to kill all archers on all the roofs, some being on an extremely large tower, and if you didn't take down the other ones, you'd be shot down and fall to death. Wow. And finally climbing the tallest tower in town to take out your target. Sorry, my grammar's not it. But the whole game of Unity is filled with this, and I hope they take the same approach to Assassin's Creed Rift, the upcoming title. Honestly, in this I felt like an actual assassin. I do in the other games too, but not to the heights of this. This was like Hitman levels of stealth. Like, you could literally like hide behind walls and do certain things. You could do that in Syndicate 2, but not to the height. It was like they placed the guard perfectly to be taken out. And if you do it silently, you will be 100% better at taking them out and silently. And a lot of times when you try to rush it, like most of the time, you will get destroyed and caught up. And it's a lot harder with the clunky combat. Even though combat's still good, with Syndicate, you could easily take them out if you did good enough. But in Unity, it's a lot harder and a lot funner. Now, on to the combat, as we were discussing. Although the combat's rather clunky and slow, as I've stated, it's extremely satisfying, as I've stated, to successfully parry and counter an enemy, especially in a huge swarm of enemies, it is hard and slow. It was really fun to use, and I found myself throwing smoke bombs a lot to take out everyone who was still stunned. Just like the stealth, it's really fun to like just throw smoke bombs and take everybody out. It's just part of the vibes of the game, honestly. Who was still stunned, and it was fun being able to use your gun, and it and it helped massively with the bosses. In conclusion, Assassin's Creed is a massive and diverse series, and this video aimed to shed awareness on what the series could be and should be, and how the upcoming game that's taking us to Iraq could further improve and become a great game, and could be replayed for years like Assassin's Creed Unity. And honestly, they should take this route because Iraq and like all those Muslim areas is where like assassins originate. Assassin, even stated in the games, they've said it like that's where the word comes from. It came from the Muslims, the Jews originally, and then it devolved into Europe and was used in major political fights, just like it was in the Middle East. I mean, that's pretty much it. And guess what? You've been freaking bamboozled, because that was my article I wrote. I told you boys I'm good at writing articles, and I just proved it because you enjoyed this video. Yes, you did. Okay, boys, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to shed my opinion, my light, my article, promote myself. That's pretty much it, and I'm out. Peace.